Everybody came here with a splendid PowerPoint, and I came with my last sheet. That's the end of the workshop, the end of everything, because actually I didn't know what I was going to say till this morning after making a recap of what's going on here, what has happened in these 2 days, and actually because I'm not here the important person to say something. I just want to close, so I'm going to be very, very, very brief because I want you to speak and to make some questions at the end and, well, to pose a question open. But I want to, well, to close this recap, I want to speak about 3 points. First, I want to give the official thanks to all the participants. Second, I want to speak about the experience of this workshop for myself and also for the POSTDATA project. And thirdly, I want to speak about further steps more in general. So let's go to the 3 things, which, as I told you, I just took a sheet of paper, but I started to write this morning and I wrote a lot of things. So, well, I want to sum up in 5 minutes what has been this workshop for me, for us, for POSTDATA project, and also for this wonderful community that has arrived here today. As I told 2 days ago, this is the first workshop of the ERC project, and I want to remember what's the meaning of this workshop also from the institutional point of view or from the ERC project point of view. I want to remind you that this week is the 10th anniversary of the European Research Council institutional foundation. And this birthday is it's a very important event that we wanted to celebrate, and that's what the reason for choosing this date. So we want to remind that we are also making these echoes of this week, and we feel very important for that, because we were able to reach a lot of people that wanted to share the same date. So how did we do that? We had 28 invited speakers representing each of the different databases that participated in our first data model. We had 14 registered attendees, and we had also, well, our LIN, the Digital Humanities Innovation Lab team, which was very, very actively, and I want this to, well, to use this moment to thank very much to the work of the people that had made this work possible, especially Mara and Patricia for the organization, for food, coffee, drinks, and the very important things that build community. Also, the computer science people that were here learning a lot of philology and also listening to rhyme discussion, which were very, very, well, hard for them, probably. And, well, especially our POSTDATA team that worked very hard to build the model and to teach this workshop. To Mariana, to Elena, or Helena, because Elena, it's very confusing for me, because I am also always all the day listening to my name. To Jimena and Diego, that came from very, very far place, and, well, they are all the time working with us, but they are actually very far, 12 hours flying just to come to the workshop. So this is, thank you very much for coming and for contributing so much. To Diana, Maria Luisa, Antonio, Janos, Agustin, Salva, Clara, and the other Helena too, for being here from UNED. Especially to our PhD student, to the other Patricia, Sonia, Laura, Carlos, Laila. So all of you that are here, Adriana too, and have made it possible this workshop. I also want to thank you to the last invited people and the last newcomer, to Annalise, to Eva, that give their opinion about what we are doing from the expertise point of view. And I want especially to thank the people that has came to, well, to work with the data to the workshop, because we have people from 9 different countries here. Apart from Spain, we have people from France, from the United Kingdom, Argentina, Italy, Finland, and the Czech Republic. And this is a very good representation of what our first model that wants to be a multilingual, very ambitious, very interoperable, and very ideal project that we want to reach. So, and Hungary and Germany, I don't know if I forgot them. So, I also want to thank to our, well, to the ERC and the European Commission for funding this project, and the Ministry also for making it possible to gather all the people for this meeting with the DIREPO project, which was a preparatory phase with which we started to work on these interoperability problems. These were the thank you notes parts. And forgive me if I forgot something.
She forgot a very important thing. We thank you
Wow.
for all your work winning an ERC grant.
Wow.
So.
Wow. It's not the moment to thank that, because we have to wait for 5 years and see if this project arrives to a good end. So, but thank you very much anyway. So, if I forgot anybody, just forgive me, but we are very happy to having you, everybody here. And now comes the part in which I thought, well, what's my conclusion about this 2-day workshop, and what's the experience for these 3 days of a lot of work, a lot of emotion, a lot of very interesting discussion. We have had very different moments. We have had intense moments of sometimes skepticism, even from the philological point of view. And that has reminded me a moment in which I arrived for 1.5 years before to the European Commission interview. And the first question that I got about the project is, well, you are proposing an interoperability model for different philological traditions, and now the philological tradition and the new currents of philology defends that each different tradition has a idiosyncratic perspective, and the new ways of doing research have to defend this idiosyncrasy. How do you justify that? That was the first question. I thought, well, I will respect that idiosyncrasy, but what I want to do is to communicate the information between the different traditions. And both things are possible, and we believe that. So, even though this is very difficult, that's true, but we have 5 years and a group of good people that can understand from different technologies, different literatures, and different perspectives, and can make it possible. We have multilingualism, we have different communities, but we have a common way of understanding because we believe in the project. You are here because you think, even if you have your skepticism from your dad, you believe that this is possible, and we too. So we have different ways of approaching the same object, but we have the same perspective, and we want to build this. And the other important thing is that we cannot do this without you, because this is not our project, this is our project. So, and this is very important. We are not using your data, we are constructing a same model with all the data together. So, which are, now I'm coming to the third point, to close and to say, which are the perspectives after this meeting? And what is more important? Well, we had valuable and inspiring feedback, which is very important, even more than teaching something or showing tools or showing the model. What we wanted to do with this workshop is having your opinion, your critics, your impressions, and also, well, to discuss the idea that we posted here. And that's a very important thing that we got. What we propose here is not a model, it's just a way of putting things together, and what we want is to have your feedback, your discussion, even your cries that this is not working like that. That's great. So now please fill the survey, send us email, discuss everything that we propose here, and we will change it or not, or discuss and find some way of showing your different perspectives. We did it in our best way, but we are sure that it could be better done, but with your help. So, further step is the collaboration and the growth of this project, following the instructions or the perspective that we will give you after reading the materials and after analyzing the data that we got in these 2 days. So we don't have now like a calendar with next step is this, this, and this. Now we have to think, to reorganize, and to give you further ideas of what we pretend to do. And the most important thing, it's to continue in this way. One thing that I announced you some months ago is that we are also launching a special number of the journal, the Revista de Poética Medieval, about the digital repertoires. And from here now I invite you to collaborate to this special number, writing an article about each of the different databases of repertoires, because that could be a good state of the art, even from the philological and from the scientific valued point of view, about gathering all the impressions and all the data that you have from the scientific point. But yeah, the only thing, and to finish, the only thing that I wanted to say here is that Well, the most important thing today is that we believe in this project. We think that this project is not perfect, but it's possible. And we thank you very much to all of you for being here, for helping us making it possible, and for continuing believing in this as we do. So thank you very much for being here, and let's go for lunch, let's celebrate it, and let's continue collaborating together. Thank you. And now, if you have any question, we are very welcome to ask them.
I have a question to Diego that I didn't understand very well. The Love, what was the name? Love Cloud? No.
Love Cloud. Love, L-O-C-O-U-L-D.
No, the one with the vocabularies, you know? No, not yours. You know, you were showing some different platforms, and there was one where we could put our vocabularies. Do you remember? Eso. Lock, Cloud. Eso. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre ese y Love, Linked Open Vocabularies? What is the difference between linked open vocabularies, if you know, and Cloud? You need to come and speak.
Locloud is project, it's not standard. Okay? So they put the no name Locloud, but maybe can put name like Pedro. Okay? It's not a standard. It's a name like POSTDATA. Okay, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. You can use any standard to link it, some standard to create linked data. Okay? Locloud use Tema 3, but you can use this technology with any standard. Okay? This is your question, or I not understand?
No, fue mi cuestión. Era cuál era la diferencia entre ese proyecto que puedes poner ahí los vocabularios y Linked Open Vocabularies website donde puedes poner vocabularios allá también.
Que Locloud ofrece también una plataforma de gestión. They provide platform to expose and manage. The another project is only to expose.
Yes.
Data Hub is only to expose.
Okay.
In our project, we create platform to manage and expose. It's okay. Some project I do not name nombre and not mentioned, and it's important, is Bartok.
Yes.
Yes. You know?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, another project he didn't mention, but you'd like to say is Bartok.
Who create a hub of vocabularies. In this site, you can ask about more 600 or 1000 vocabularies. There are a lot of vocabularies about any problems. And you ask in this site, maybe you can find vocabularies for you too. Okay? See? In this platform, you can find vocabularies in Tema 3, in Protégé, in any technology, and any kind of problem, and any kind of provider, and any. Okay? See?
Any other question? Whatever comes to your mind. So we finish, Elena? We go, yeah.
Wow. Even if you are following from outside or online, we will be available through Twitter, through email, and every channel that we have here. So feel free to reconnect and this is not the end of the workshop, it's the beginning of the real project community. Thank you very much.